Sorry, folks, duty calls, the children bugging. But what I'm trying to say is basically, those of us that are really positive about what we do out here, it takes something away giving our focus, trying to have conversation with people that I've said this in a comment, that has already made a line in that sand. They're in a sunken place. There is no saving these people. I do believe it's a waste of energy trying to have a dialogue with folks that want to name call, that want to go back and forth. There's no saving them. I've been watching the grifters at grift. They're going to do what they do. I even like the presence of mind that, Tariq is taking all of this in, not really worried about the optics of it all. And, trolls are going to troll. But FBA, I just really want to ask the question, man. I just really want to ask the question. What is the end goal? And this might be a rhetorical question, but what is the end goal of a group that has no chairman, that has no definitive organization or construct of an organization? There's no transparency other than, I'm gonna run with this term FBA and push it down on the throats. I can't say of many, but in certain circles and spaces. And I can't say that many because I'm telling y'all, man, I'm a well-traveled brother. Most of Black Americans in this space, man, in the country alone, do not rock with xenophobic views, divisive organization, and groups that are waiting on let's hope movements, but ain't doing the work. And this is the thing that I'm gonna keep preaching until nauseum. I don't care who gets tired of it. What the hell do you people do outside of YouTube? Babe, for real. I'm dead ass. Like, these people, like, I get people that come in my channels and I let their little ignorant comments breathe a little. Sometimes I like feeling it, and it gives me the reason of why I do what I do. Then I delete it, I block it, so your little 2 second of fame with me, is going down the drain of nowhere. I don't care. But the thing that I watch that has more of an impact is the people that comes in these spaces with a lot to say or a lot to combat against, but they can't show you what they do outside of YouTube. And I always say this, I dare you to ask me what I do. A lot of you guys are intellectually lazy, so you won't go through my channel and actually look at what I do. You won't go through my videos where I've explained time and time again. But nonetheless, I would love to have a real conversation with those of you that wants to talk. And we can talk about what we actually do out here. YouTube is becoming like a blood sport. It's becoming like a space where we come, to train. I train on YouTube for the real world, so I can learn how to hold my ground with the ignorance. How to be emotionally disciplined. And I've had my faults where my passion for my people has led me to where I've had certain conversations where, dare I say, had me looking bad, man, because I let somebody's ignorance get the best of me where, things can be lost in translation, folks. So, with that whole emotional, not being disciplined to being emotional, like, it can take away from a message. And I've been learning every day, as much discipline that I thought I was. Every day is a learning day, B. A wise man knows he knows nothing at all. So I leave that quote to teach me every day is a learning day. So, I'm watching African Think Tank's channel, and he posts, and I saw this coming, y'all. He posts an FBA implosion happening. I mean, Sir Major, a lot of people call him Casper the Ghost, but he's a brother nonetheless. He's just albino. I don't come at the brother because of his skin complexion. He's an albino. We are the original man and women on this planet. So guess what? All the colors you see from other nationalities and nations, the recessive traits, the blonde hair, all that comes from the DNA and genetics of a black man and woman. So that's not why I think he's a clown. I think he's a clown because he's really trying his best to get Tariq's Nasheed message in the fact that he wants, dad to give him a pat on his back. He has daddy issues. A lot of you do. And, once I've watched that video with Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, going in toxic territory, to try to have a meaningful dialogue with Tariq, which I don't know why you thought it would be meaningful, Brandon. But nonetheless, once I saw Brandon go in that space, I just saw a lot of little boys that wanted daddy to give him a pat on the back. And a lot of the women that was interrupting Brandon, I mean, like I remember I told you guys this, I don't go back and forth with women, man. Specifically black women. There's a lot of black women that don't agree with my stance. A lot of our sisters do cheerlead the wrong things. But the reason why I don't argue with black women in the YouTube space, or really mostly any public space, is because you black men do a better job. How dare I come at any sister the wrong way? And as much as I do not like Connie, I think Connie, the sister that, stay on Tariq's, I think she's one of the biggest hypocrites out here in the game. But I don't make it a habit of going back and forth with black women. When I watch enough black men be toxic, detrimental, non-productive, lazy as hell, combative, argumentative, I mean, to hell with trying to go back and forth with a woman, man. You brothers give enough content, give enough energy where I could have these, conversations with y'all about how we moving as a people. My sisters, if you want to have a conversation with me, then so be it. We can have a conversation. But you can call me the worst names in the world. You'll never get that energy of mine that makes me king, that makes me masculine, that makes me man, that makes me be the father that I am of 3 daughters, 3 sons. I will never go back and forth with y'all on YouTube. I watch a lot of my brothers do that, and it's like, dude, y'all mess is gonna get lost in the conversation, dude. Let's get this straight right now. Most of the people that watch men's content on YouTube are 85% men. So I think it's destructive to worry about what females got to say. So Brandon, I would have kept tuning that Connie character out when you was in that space. Personally, again, I just didn't even want you in that space. But African Think Tank puts out a video and FBA are just going against, Marcel Dixon. I don't even know if that's his last name, but I just know him as Marcel. Now, I don't got nothing against Marcel's orientation. I don't. Actually, I'm gonna take it to a very intellectual space when I'm speaking on Marcel. Forget how I feel about whatever. I see the passion the brother has, and I know he's in a bind because I really can see the love Marcel has for his people. And he is in a bind right now because he done did so much with this FBA movement, with this B1 free men movement, specifically though FBA movement, where he's looking at other people's and other groups' agendas and ideas, and he's realizing he can't come very deep in the sand with FBA, y'all. He sees the ignorance that they try to do every day. I see it, dude, because that's an intelligent brother, but I saw this coming, It's not just Sir Major who comes at Marcel like that. Most of the FBA, clown show are setting themselves up for the same thing they did to secure the tribe folks when Tariq doxed those folks, put names out and everything, just like a typical agent would. FBA is coming to the point where you guys not having a proper structured organization is gonna be y'all downfall. This is why I have made a sincere decision on taking a step back and how I approach FBA and Tariq Nasheedians and Tariq himself. I rather, highlight certain points and certain subjects when that time comes. When I see it's that pivotal where, okay, I gotta combat this narrative real quick. But I'm telling you, if you let these ignorant fools, if you let them at their own reconnaissance do their destructive measures, it will be an implosion. Shout out to African Think Tank with that video, because I'm sitting there like, yo, I felt like I've been called this out. You won't see those brothers defend Marcel. Like me personally, I feel like his sexual orientation shouldn't take away from the work he puts in for y'all, for his people, right? I mean, he's fighting for FBA. He's fighting so much for y'all that Marcel did himself a disservice as a so-called LGBTQ community member who speaks xenophobic rhetoric just like, you know, their leader, Tariq Nasheed. So it's like you put yourself in a position where, you know, dude, you're tainted, dude. So I can see your second thoughts on the FBA, but I don't see how many groups would want you back in with them, dude. Like, you know, you took on this mantra of separating us, dude. And while you probably had good intentions, the way you went about it was dog wrong, bro. And for whatever reason, I know my God is waking up your spirit. He's talking to you, letting you know, bro, this ain't the way. You know, you're gonna be talking in spaces with FBA folks who wants to say the most profound thing. Don't care how it makes sense or not, because they want the attention of their daddy Tariq, bruh. You know, they want the attention of Tariq. You know, and I just watched Tariq, and again, I know I'm 100% sure that this is a man going through his own internal battles. I mean, most of us are facing jihad. We're going through the battle of good versus evil, but a lot of you, it's so transparent what y'all facing that I just find it, you know, very relaxing when you guys do the work for us and keep self-imploding. Your organization, lack thereof that is, but your self-entitled groups that nobody else rocks with will come to a collision course at the mind of the and wits of idiots, of childlike people that can't even properly display, you know, their positioning on what they stand on. This is why those of you that ever come on my channel and you think your ignorant ass comment is gonna breathe a day in light, you know, think again. You know, think again. But I just thought it was very impressive to watch this implosion happening. And keep in mind, they will be their own downfall. Folks, when you're battling what we're going through as a people in this Western Hemisphere specifically, let me tell you what we do not need. We don't need any more groups with no work to show outside of YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. We don't got time for that, you know? But, you know, that's what I'm working on, you know, selfishly for me. But I'm talking about works in your community. Works in your community. I don't care if you're working for somebody, you're working for yourself. What are you putting out for your people? I'ma keep challenging y'all, because all y'all gonna do is talk, and that's why groups like FBA will implode on themselves. And this is why I'm telling guys like you, Brandon, you know, take a more structured approach like Taharka's doing now in terms of what you already did. You gave us the blueprint, Brandon. Take an approach, you know, legally if you have to or whatever, but focus back on what you've been doing, traveling, putting out these videos that show me your heart and your spirit. The thing that drew me to you, bro, it was not you making videos about Tariq and his Nasheedians. It was not that, bro. It was the real love and passion that I see you have. I love my black brothers that do that, bro. I see the passion in a lot of my brothers out here, you know, and it's like we got to get back to more of that, dude. You know, we got to get back to more of that. And I'm not saying we don't make no videos on Tariq Nasheed and FBA. Me personally, I might take a little step back because I see the work y'all doing. My work will be more of steering away folks from even, you know, taking this group as a serious, you know, component in our marches for reparation, in our marches to destruct white supremacy, in our marches to unite and bridge the gap that is in the entire diaspora. That, you know, black Africans, black Caribbeans come with their own xenophobic rhetoric. Black Americans here have their own xenophobic rhetoric. Black Latin folks have their own xenophobic rhetoric. I know it's a problem that's in the entire diaspora, but as of late, who is the face of that xenophobic movement? We can say whatever we want, but it is the quote-unquote FBA movement spearheaded by Tariq Nasheed and his Nasheedians. I mean, if this was the Olympics, you guys would get gold. You would come in first place with that hate. You know, I think back to the likes of Malcolm X. Who taught y'all how to hate? Was it y'all daddy Tariq or that white supremacist all of a sudden that I never hear about anymore? Now it's about black immigrants, you know? So I'ma go ahead and call it a night for tonight, but I'm in a good space, y'all. And hear me deep, I'm in a good space. It's not much that could change my mind about what I gotta do for my people, who I come at, or whatever. But I'm telling you, my brothers in arms, all my brothers in arms, let's collectively think wise and very fruitful in who we give our time to and where we go expound on our energies in what space we're at. Brandon, I never want to see you go in a space like Tariq's, which he proved my point. He's juvenile as they come, and his followers are some cult. This is like a phenomenon type thing I've never seen. They're like a cult following. They didn't let you speak for a reason, bro, because the narrative was never gonna be equal exchange of minds challenging one another. It was never gonna be that. And I just thought, Brandon, you're so, smart, dude. Like, you're smart. Maybe you do have your own point of why you went there, but I don't get it. I think it's a waste of time personally, and it gives them more content and more fuel to use, rather than showing how obsolete this organization truly is. Gravitating away, GATV. Yeah, family, we moving, we got motion, y'all. Keep commenting, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'm gonna keep doing what I do. So again, challenge everybody you come in this space. Ask them, force them to show you what the hell do y'all do outside of YouTube.